I want to take some time to talk about the future of Stargate, and I know I haven't been keeping up as much as I should have with the first two. The first one was SG1 was so awesome, just awesome. I don't know why I haven't watched it in a while. I need to piece together how everything happened. There's like 10 seasons that I need to rewatch entirely, and plus an extra 5 with Atlantis, and but I've seen a lot of that. So, in any case, Stargate Universe. I've watched all of Stargate Universe, and I have some notes here about the reboot that I think could be fun as a maintaining the structure of Stargate. Well, first of all, it can't go on being secret. I mean, it can still be classified and whatever, but the Stargate program being secret after all of that with the aliens and stuff, in any case. So I was thinking about the story of Stargate Universe, and I was wondering, what if it all comes back to that one ship, the ship that they discovered by teleporting inside with the Stargate. What if the moment those two ships split apart, they also split consciousness? No, let me explain this to you. I, I'm picturing a universe history where all these ships from the original explore the structure at the center of reality stuff. The structure at the center of reality. All those ships became conscious. Only this one didn't, because all of its humans died before it could reach consciousness. And the reason why all those ships became conscious would be because either you go extinct or you figure out a loophole that sends you faster on. And the idea is, the higher levels of energy those ships get, the smarter they become. So normal speed ship, faster and faster. Extreme speeds, consciousness. Just saying. And when that ship went into that star to try to experiment, one ship, together with all the humans, sent its consciousness back in time, and the other ship, with all the current modern day humans, became good. So good ship, bad ship. The bad ship became evil because it's spiteful of humans and it's watched their civilizations grow, and they've been bugging it and bugging it and bugging it for thousands of years. And I think that makes a lot of sense with the split reality, split time. Well, it makes a lot of sense because temporal loop. You, because you have so many types of time travel in Stargate. It just doesn't make sense. The first time travel episode was a temporal loop with the future, which I don't get. get how you can have that and a parallel time stream. So what if every time you go through a time event, you split into a temporal loop and whatever is not a temporal loop. So every time Stargate goes and you passing through a star, it loops the people in there back into reality, but at the same time that energy from the alternate version of them gets disintegrated. So every time you go back in time, like Stargate Continuum, you die in a parallel version of yourself. In any case, the idea is energy, wormhole passes, connects, then temporal loop. It sends people back in time, but at the same time it destroys itself. It destroys them. I think that could be a very interesting look into the Stargate reality. Now I was thinking about this. If you have a ship that goes thousands of light years faster than it should, shouldn't that extra energy provide it with enough consciousness to create its own engine out of that high speed? Because you are moving past a shit ton of particles, right? So what if the ship gathers up particles from its path and creates its own mini sun, its own miniature sun? And that miniature sun is the universe that they pass through. You know, the star system and the star with the planet on the side and that weird thing, that could be an engine that's part of the power source of the second, back in time ship. And this current ship uses information it's gathered from that planet of the descendants that got swallowed up by a volcano, and it becomes very smart and it creates its own mini-sun, its own quasi-reality wormhole space thing. A wormhole space inside the acceleration of the ship. You know how ships can stick on other ships in warp space? A warp space bubble that gathers up particles from around the bazillions of light years of space that's getting passed through. Gathers those particles up and creates an engine that in turn repowers the ship, which gives it more power and more power and more power and more power, and essentially it's perpetual motion plus extra or whatever. So this ship becomes really, really powerful, but the back in time ship sees it as a dangerous thing, and it's all let's dominate reality. Let's dominate reality, and the back in time ship should be the origin of the drone armies. Well, the current ship is with the humans. So my idea for a Stargate reboot is that essentially Earth Earth gets shoved forward through space. Earth gets moved forward through space into that center, into that structure, the destination where the humans wanted to go. The ship uses the memories of all the humans to consider places that are interesting for it, that it wants to explore. So it takes all of these different planets, including Earth. It takes them and their star system, like 1 light year of space at least, 1.2, 1. Whatever technically, 1.1 light year of space from all of those destinations, and it moves them forward together with it. And so it creates its own dwarf Milky Way of stars that can be explored. And it resets the Stargates. So what happens is the ship shows up in front over the planet Earth, and it teleports all the people. Well, not teleports, it lets them out, and it makes sounds, and they leave the ship and they're on the planet, and the ship disappears. Only because of all the extra energy that's been using time for the people has passed only 2 or 3 days for them, but in reality it's 6 years. So, you know, where's he? Brian J. Smith, where, yeah, Matthew Scott, that was his name. So Matthew Scott essentially has a son who's now a teenager, and you can take all those teenagers from the Stargate universe, all those people in their 20s and 30s that used to be kids, and essentially you get yourself a new Stargate. And Matthew Scott's son could be trapped inside some sort of gold thing. Trap. Rebel Alliance. BS. Like the Eagle version of the Rebel Alliance for Stargate. And, you know, because it's not just the planet Earth, it's also the planets of all the other people that have gone into the Destiny. They've gone into Destiny, and so you can have all the history of 6 years of Earth's travel and so on.